Yes. I don't know why, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna, sometimes they're called HMO, Health Maintenance Organization, sometimes Managed Care Organization. I'm sure there's a definition out there to differentiate between the two. And if somebody knows it, please speak up because they have a lot of terms.
I think these programs are really bureaucratic, and so this is actually quite helpful.
Yes, there are a lot of information in there, but yes.
Yes. Did you like that? Like the flow? Is that what you were looking for, Commissioner Ward? Okay, good.
Yes, thank you. It kind of tells you, yeah, how, like you say, how you get there from here.
Yeah, and it's something that if it does speak to you, we can try to do something like that it would be useful not only for you all, but probably for other parts of the things we do. So.
The other term that I always find confusing is waiver and what it means. And then, like we had some waivers during the pandemic that were really actually waivers, right? We don't have to do this for the duration of the pandemic. And
Oh,
do it, like they were actual, like what I think of as a waiver, which means
Yes.
that's the rule, but no, you don't have to because I waive your need to do it. So these kind of waivers, what that means doesn't always make sense to me.
Okay, so think about it this way. They waive some of the limitations from your plan in order to meet your needs better because of a disability that you might have. Do you know what I mean? Or a special need you may have. So for example, even if you had a MCO, all of the folks who get a disability designation and have a specific set of needs, they're going to be put in a category where we're not going to limit them in the same way so that they can access those specific types of things that they may need. So for example, it could be a person with autism. And so their needs might be really range from just needing something sensory to help calm you and regulate you to something that is very significant, such as around-the-clock care, that somebody comes into your house to provide it. And it really does give that more individualized, but it kind of waves you out of our typical system, so to speak. Does that help a little bit? But it's not quite.
I guess.
Yeah.
It usually seems like if you have the waiver, you get more stuff.
Yes, you do. You get waived out of the system's parameters in order to get more stuff.
And waived into.
Yes.
Better stuff.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I was also confused with that.
Yeah.
What waiver?
Yeah, the terminology sometimes is not easy.
Seems to me that we've made this system very complex.
Yeah.
And even somebody who, having a husband that's chosen to go on, Medicare and all those things. I mean, the confusion of just even that program and what you pick and choose and how it works and all these things. And then the rules are always changing. I guess it's job justification at a higher level. If we keep changing things and messing with things, somebody at a federal or state level will have a secure job, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's the case. I say in mental health and substance use, there's so much need. I'm not actually worried about job security because the needs are out there no matter what.
Yeah. And I guess I'm thankful that I use an Apple device. I can use my fingers and make the print bigger.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of info in there. And this little chart I struggled with, and then I figured out how to make that bigger.
We were discussing that while you were out of the room.
Yeah.
It's that you were using your finger.
That's little.
That was very tiny print.
But
Yes.
can you do that with? No, see, that is.
Well, you can zoom in.
Yeah.
In Adobe, you can zoom in.
Yep.
But I just.
We don't have touchscreen computers though.
Yeah.
I do at home.
But so what do you feel are the critical areas that we need to be looking at or pay in particular attention to?
I would highlight a few points. One being that the mandated portion is the state-funded portion, and that's a service we're going to have to deliver no matter what. I think for us, when you look at this wait list, currently individuals who have a move-in date and set for a nursing facility have priority to be assessed. So we're going to be doing that. And with all the prioritization, and then we've got people who maybe are on the blues already, them getting pushed in because our contract says We need to address their needs within a certain time frame. And so what I would say is there's a lot of work here in this population of over 65. I do not see it changing to reduce. And I see the challenges of our employees on a daily basis being able to meet the needs that are all present for folks that we get referrals for. The feedback that I was wanting here, Commissioner Ward, was much more about, does this meet the need of a flow chart visual that could be helpful to you?
It's helpful, but it's still, yeah.
It's overwhelming. Yes.
Of how to figure it out. And so, question, referral. An individual that's over 65 has to be referred. Can they self-refer
Yeah.
themselves?
Yep.
Okay, they don't have to go to a medical provider and have a certain diagnostic.
Community member over age 65 can refer themselves, or they can be referred by another party.
Because I know it's very difficult to get in to see any medical provider.
Yeah. I would say the overwhelmed feeling that you have looking at this is very consistent with what people often feel doing the work that we do every day.
Well, my personal goal is to avoid this system at all costs.
Yes.
But I don't want to have to, yeah. But no, this is, whoever, yeah, your intern or whoever who put it together.
Okay.
Now, the only thing is, I guess I'm still a little confused as to what is mandated and what's not mandated.
Mandated are those folks that have Medicaid or are eligible for medical assistance, and they are not affiliated with another, like we have to fund them because their income level is such that they are not able to have another form of coverage.
So on page 11, would all those things be mandated elderly waiver community first?
Yes, but only for those folks who don't have blues or don't have something else.
Okay. And we talk about Blue Cross Blue Shield. Who's their competitor in the Winona area? Do they have a competitor?
Typically, I think what happened is UCare was just taken on by Medica. So that there's a lot of transitions that sometimes happen with those different folks. I think there's a requirement by county that you have at least 2 options. And I think there may be more in Winona,
Yeah.
maybe even 3 or 4.
And years ago, we tried to join with Olmsted County and several others in Southeast, Marine was part of that, to create a, what did we call it? A managed care system. And there are some very successful ones in the state, but we were denied doing that. So that we could have been totally in charge, okay, but we couldn't, they wouldn't allow it to, right?
Jill, 2 things.
Yes.
Do you know offhand what is the eligibility threshold for MA?
Oh, not off the top. It depends on your household size and your income. It's really low. I just don't know it off the top of my head. I don't know if other.
Salary, probably.
Beginning teacher salary. And
It's, with that question though, is it your, well,
there's
asset based or is it just income based?
usually income. Well,
It's-
actually.
Well,
that
there,
age.
there's conversation around that with income maintenance before you're eligible to get medical assistance. So that all happens prior to, and there is some asset components to it.
Okay, because there was some off the cuff comment in a news thing that one of our nation's multimillionaires, because of income, he could be eligible for, I don't know if it was
Oh,
who it was. It was some,
yeah.
because it was just, straight income and he didn't take income. He had all these other resources and
Gotcha.
the flaw in the system
Yeah.
that somebody with.
No, there's also what you own is part of the calculation.
If I just did a quick online search, if this is accurate, and this seems to be, actually, it seems higher than I thought it was. It was $21,597. So we'll say $21,500 per one person. But I thought it was actually even lower than that.
It depends on what you're looking at too, Commissioner
Income
Bagley.
limits.
Okay, for Medicaid specifically?
Yep.
Okay.
So
I
Google
should
what's-
probably be more precise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Google, what's the average social security payment people receive?
In Minnesota, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
I don't know if that would come into play, right? If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting social security.
Yep.
Or any other retirement
On
benefit.
average, not mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very complicated process and you do need to provide documentation of any of your assets and who's in possession. There's a lot of detail to it that people in our income maintenance area look at.
Every time you do that, Dwayne, they build another data center.
So the average social security monthly payment for in Minnesota is $1,700 per month. Now we'll have Phil do 1724 times
Yeah.
12.
That's probably right at that
Yes.
20.
I can't find my calculator on my new
Oh.
computer.
There's also a study that shows, I believe it's the Alice study that talks about the actual cost of living.
Mhm.
And so it compares that to the actual cost of living, which is interesting as we've seen inflation.
Jill? Jill, can you hear me?
What puts you at or above your MA or Medicaid cutoff?
Thank you.
Well, I will start working on that so that when we have discussions around these flow charts that you are able to have somewhat of a visual if at all possible.
And I'm sorry, one other question. The charts all list over 65. Is that probably based on, like, for Greg and I don't know about you two. I mean, our retirement age isn't 60. Is it 65 regardless versus 67?
When can you draw social security?
Yeah, this,
66 and 8 months was for me.
Oh,
yeah,
it was 66.
You couldn't do it before them, but you get less.
right. You just get less.
But how about Medicare though?
Oh,
No, it's 65.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a straight line 65.
yeah. And frankly, my belief about that is you really don't have a choice. I mean,
Mhm.
the time up to that was incredibly expensive.
Mm-hmm. Insanely expensive.
Mhm.
I'm living on the edge then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be
Haven't
careful.
done- I haven't made.
Are you enjoying it is the
Made
question.
that plunge yet. I'm living on the edge.
Excellent.
Well, it's a nightmare. I mean, in terms of figuring it out, honestly, I have a friggin' master's degree and it's hard to figure out.
Yeah, it is.
Marcia has made this point before. Today's generation, and I realize this is targeted towards an older generation, but their caregivers and their family members, their support system. I know we can't reduce everything to 2-minute YouTube clips, but something that this is very visual, and I like the flow chart, but it's also, like Marcia said, a lot of information. And I don't know if you can dumb it down is the wrong word. Put it into plain English, and maybe have like a case study, like 2 or 3 different case studies of here comes Marcia, here comes Greg, and go through those scenarios. You have an
Okay.
intern who might be techie.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Get some actors from maybe the finance department.
Big staff members be out.
And if you want to put any little red checks by things that maybe we should be paying more attention to in
Okay.
there, that'll impact all these,
Highlight key
Plans.
areas.
yeah.
Okay.
So last year, at the HHS Advisory Committee meeting, each of the department heads did a presentation where they said what their programs are, how many people they have, how long they are, whether like how many people they serve. And that information was super informative for me as a commissioner to know how many people in the county are getting each of those services.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be.
And there are like, that sort of thing comes up a lot.
Some basic demographics around
Like,
the
it's-
population.
Yeah, it's a
served.
fairly high percentage of people, over 10% of the people in the county that are getting income maintenance or on SNAP. And those are really important numbers.
Got
Rose
it.
has that spreadsheet or that
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah, I think I got them in when I started.
Yeah.
They're in
in
there.
your
Yep.
Orientation packet. Yep.
It was a bit of an information dump, though.
Oh, but for me, I'm like, wow, I've wanted this kind of information ever since I took office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can that be forward?
We already
Yep.
did, but we can.
I don't
we can
remember.
Bring it again.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing.
Or can I put it with this somehow, like a demo sheet, you know what I mean? So I'll take kind of combine those two things. Okay.
Yes to that, and share this with the Human Services Advisory Committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know if you can answer this or not, but instead of a person having to sign up for all this stuff, how can a family member take care of another family member and yet get services? And yet, I know some people are, they sign up to, they're paid to take care of somebody in their family.
Yep.
Is that something that fits into this whole thing?
It does in the waiver kind of world. So that's that term that we talked about. So there are certain populations of people where you're able to do that if you're
Yeah, 'cause
qualified
there's
for
something
it.
that said, yeah,
Yep.
eligibility, not living in own home or apartment.
Right.
Not needing.
Yep.
But,
It's based on need. Yes.
yeah, but there are programs where like children can sign up to take care of parents and get compensated somehow, yet provide quality
Yes, but
care?
it's not super easy. You got to definitely have a lot of parameters around it because I think those are things that are going to be looked at pretty carefully as we move forward, because those are areas that have had higher spending as they've been developed.
Yeah,
And there's been oftentimes maybe some response to that in terms of questioning its legitimacy.
sure. Well, my personal preference would be to have a family member,
Yes.
if they're qualified and
Yep.
willing to take on the
That's
task
why
of
it was
taking-
developed.
Taking care of a parent versus putting them in a nursing home or
Absolutely.
a system.
No question. That's always more cost effective. I think the challenge has been, our costs have risen over time.
Uh-huh.
And so those are the kind of programs that get questioned. And so how do we look at that and how do we evaluate and know that that's what's occurring?
Sure.
Because they've moved to things like electronic verification when you walk in the room. You know what I mean? So like home health care does electronic verification where you have to electronically be at the right location and you have to, so those are the kind of things that are coming into play that we didn't see historically.
And that's somewhat mentioned on the flow chart, like if someone's not eligible for MA.
Yep.
And that's part of what the city does with help me with the program.
Senior advocacy.
Advocacy.
I just met with them this
Yep.
week.
To do that thing, Marcia, is to
Mhm.
help find ways to keep people at home and access services.
Yes. They do. Marcia knows this though, but I think they're amazing. I have constituents who were able to stay in their homes because they helped them figure out how to do the property tax refund and to find a healthcare savings account that was apparently out there. And the individual had surgery that they have been putting off for over 5 years because of the help that the senior advocates gave him. Amazing.
And they have a lot of contacts. So I met with them this week and it was very positive.
They're great. I mean, as I said, when you go on Medicare, it's mind-boggling. And I know plenty of people my age, and I went to see them when the time came. Because they're not trying to sell you anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for your feedback. Greatly appreciated. We'll start working on that for each of our areas.
Are you going to talk to us about this other report?
Oh, yes, that's coming up next.
Right?
So let's shift gears. Let's move on. There's 2 documents that I want to highlight. One of them is quite lengthy. I did want to provide it. So if you chose and wanted to read it, it's a good comparison and way to look at other counties and how do we compare with what other counties are doing. And then there is the synopsis that I wrote on the children and family services out-of-home placements. And so it's numbered, but what number does it start with? Because I've got page number 1 at the bottom.
79?
That could very well be. Does it look like this, Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Meyer?
So
Okay.
out-of-home placements, or is this?
Yes, it's children and family services out-of-home placements.
What's not page 13?
Well, there's this big report. but
Yes,
That's the big report. That's like-
yes.
Well,
So-
this is the one that's about us.
Yes, this is more specific to our needs, and I took information to make sure my definitions were cross-referenced and that I was speaking in alignment with the out-of-home care and permanency report from 2023. The data is from them, but the report is as recent as 9/15/25. That is something that comes out pretty regularly, and I like to look at it. I know Alyssa does as well. Alyssa Passell is the person who oversees our children and family services. And so that report is something that's required at the federal level as well. I'll give you a little bit of context and some historical perspective, I would say, around out-of-home care. I think there was a time when out-of-home care was seen as the answer. I think over the years, we've really come to understand the impact of removing children from their homes in a way that maybe we didn't have when I started my career in health and human services. And I think it's positive that it gets challenged a great deal. And I know every state has worked to reduce both the volume of placements and the number of facilities that provide the service in order to reinforce the importance of community-based services. Now, the need has also changed. We have seen over the years younger folks needing out-of-home care, as well as the intensity of the need being greater. More dangerousness, just more complexity. Another population that I think we've seen a little bit more is youth who maybe were in another country and were adopted here, and we don't know the original kind of experiences they may have had, the traumatic experiences they had before they were brought to the U.S. And so there's a lot of factors, and there's not one story that's the same as the next. However, it's a significant budget item because there is some money that we can draw down, but a vast majority of the funding for these types of out-of-home placements comes at the county level. And so one thing that I'm pretty conscious of, and I know Alyssa is as well, is really being thoughtful about when we need to do that. And if we do, is it a good match for that child? And is it our only and last resort? Because it is a significant kind of move, and it has impact on children for the rest of their lives. And so we're really conscious of that. It could be as a result of child protection, specialized treatment for mental health concerns or developmental needs, or juvenile corrections. Any one of those types of needs are ones that we encounter. As a state supervised, locally administered child welfare system, we are primarily responsible for the costs of that care. And it can vary from one placement for one child in a very high need setting can be $500,000 a year. And so being really conscious of not only financially, but more importantly, the impact on the child. Is it the right placement? How do you get there? So just want to pause there and respond. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to read. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, but man, I'm sorry about the print. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. So the print is an example of what we're seeing, and we are seeing some out-of-home placement costs that are going to be over budget, yet in another area, we're not over budget. So it's something we have to be mindful, though, as we choose the difference between mandated and non-mandated services. We're mandated to pay for out-of-home placements. And if a child needs it, we're mandated to provide it. While we may not be mandated to do some of the community-based services, those are sometimes funded by services like waiver services. A really good example might be respite. Respite can be fully funded if we are able to engage with families and give them the opportunity to have a break, which is very reasonable for the types of challenges that families often experience with the needs of the children that they're caring for. And so we really want that respite to happen, and that is fully funded at the lesser level of care. But it comes to a point sometimes where parents can't manage it, particularly if there's other children in the home or there are other factors that need to be considered. I want to pause.
Well, so I wasn't totally clear what I was supposed to take away.
This is a setting the stage. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is digest this and think about it and recognize that as we make decisions about the services that we do or don't fund, the impact may not be seen today. It could be seen down the road, or it could be seen significantly today. And so those community-based services that sometimes there are some portion of costs that we bear, they are much lesser portion than some of the other pieces that we have to pull together. And they're much more available than the pieces of finding the right placement for someone. And not only in that moment, the lifelong productive costs for folks. You look at the challenges of children aging out of foster care. I don't know if everybody's heard that term or had that referenced, but they're much more likely to experience homelessness, much more likely to not have the support systems to take the next step in their life in order to be a productive citizen. And so we just want to be cautious and be thoughtful about how do all these different pieces fit together so that we don't unintentionally create consequences for ourselves that are both costly in our community and in our pocket.
So one of the things I think you might be saying is that in Q1, we're under budget.
And we're over in one part and under a bit in another.
But then if you look at Q2, and now there's not one child that needs this expensive.
We've already
item,
had
but
that.
There's three,
Yes.
Are
then
you
that's
looking at,
going to,
Chris, what pay are you?
80. I'm reading, I'm reading between the lines.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to do, because it was like, well, I think that's what that means, but it was not a direct line.
Yep.
So, but then.
You're telling me I wasn't direct enough?
Well, no. So, but what you're saying is then
Yes.
it's very easy for it to go over if there are
Yes.
3 people that need that specific service.
Yes.
And then you're also saying, in some cases, if we were more liberal or recommended respite care, that maybe not as many people would be forced to put their child into an out-of-home, like a special needs.
I think we're pretty good at doing the respite care. What I would say is we even got to think about way earlier. Okay. The more we can start focusing on how do we get upstream rather than downstream, how do we start preventing and how do we start doing things much earlier? That is a lot less costly and we can deliver a lot more service. The issue is the system does not incentivize that with reimbursement. And so we have to make pretty conscious decisions and think about, okay, and the reality is these are the kids we got to serve. And they're in a spot right now that maybe they weren't in when they were 3. And maybe if we had offered more service when they were 3 or a long time ago, we could be looking at a different scenario today.
So back in 2009, the legislature studied this idea of the locally administered state, mandated or funded system. And one of the main outcomes from that study was that this very thing is a thing that these are services that end up being offered with discriminately, which is to
Yeah.
say with a great level of variability.
Yes.
And the example was that it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for a family that had a special needs child to move to a first-ring suburb county that was more likely to provide those services and had a bigger tax base than a rural county where it's a full levy point
Yep.
to provide that service for one family.
That is correct.
And that is seen as one of the issues with the system that Minnesota has.
Yes.
So this all ties into our future discussions about what things are you going to provide as services that may need to be paid with levy versus those that are mandated and you must do.
And we have to do.
Yeah, right. It's a delicate balance and we understand that, but we felt it was important to give you a base to give consideration to. And then as we move through in future discussions, to then dive in again on those, while they're discretionary, they may be a better investment.
Yep. That's exactly it.
So I apologize over the weekend. I just had my phone and I wasn't going to try and read these documents on my phone.
Oh, you would never see that.
No, no, very limiting. So how many children do we have currently in, maybe it's in here. I just
Oh
didn't.
gosh, I don't know off the top of my head, but it would be in.
This big report,
Yes.
117.
Yes.
117.
And that was at that point in time. So that was 2023 data and it does shift all the time.
Right. Well, a couple
Um,
years ago, it was a real loud cry about out of home. Then it seems like it's, in my opinion, it kind of fell off our radar.
Right.
You know why?
No.
You've got some really strong, you got some strong leadership in that area right now. And when you have some consistency in staff, strong leadership, a focus on community-based care, all of those things influence what we see later on. Now, I do want to say right now, the scenario that you're talking about, Commissioner Meyer, when you noted, we already have another child in placement in a higher cost one than we did when the budget came out. And we have another one that we're looking at. But yes, we're always working to reduce those because we know the impact it will have. And it's only in the last resort that we're doing a placement.
Well, and it's yet to be determined, the act, what that. will
Great
do,
point. Yes.
That will will it, I can see it increasing.
It will,
Because, yeah, they're gonna look at everybody and again, the
Ye-
numbers game.
yes, that's a piece of it. I would say philosophically, I think the act is wonderful. I think the financial aspects need to be funded because every child deserves that level of look before they're put into any form of placement or any of those things. Yet, I think we need the resources to do it. And I think that's a great example of what Maureen is talking about as we make decisions. There is a situation right now, I think it's something is moving forward to put some money into the act. If I'm correct, it passed, I don't know which level. Or-
I think it like all happens on the
I
last
wouldn't-
24
yeah, I wouldn't-
hours of the session.
Oh,
Count on
gosh.
anything, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's be hopeful, right? Because
Yeah.
that's where it is important we have that in order to have enough people. We're in the people. Health and Human Services is people. And if we don't have the resources to get the services, that's the critical piece.
Yeah, and I think it was terrible that they used Hennepin and Ramsey as pilots because we're on all different level than even having providers and people in the community to do that work and stuff like that. Yeah, they got the numbers and everything, but yeah, it was that was not well thought out, in my opinion.
So if I may just make a note, so this area is the same area in which we added a case aid, if you recall, and yes, it took over a year for us to see the investment outcome, but we were able to reduce the budget by over $400,000 because we changed our process and we had enough staff to help us be proactive in finding people to take these children. So I just want to put that out there that, again, changes in our process or our systems need the right number of people to be effective to get the outcome.
And this was because there was a backlog in
Uh-huh.
adoptions, right?
Yes.
Yes. And that's good for kids. To have a backlog of adoptions is not a good thing. So the more we address those things, the more we see the returns. It's putting your investment in the right place. That's the key.
Marcia, the answer to that question's on page 24 that you would ask, but how many kids are in the?
Oh,
as
is
of-
it?
Yep, as of 2023.
No,
Page
2023, that's ancient history. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But yeah, but it was actually printed on,
Page
No,
23.
Yeah, when I,
Yeah.
24.
24, okay.
When I was reading through, I was just skimming, I wasn't reading all 87 counties, but finding Winona in each one.
yeah, go ahead.
Good.
I think reading this report is really helpful. I actually look at it to say which counties are like us in size.
That's what I was
And
hoping, but it's always alphabetical. It's not,
yes.
yeah.
And I also then say, do I know folks from that area? I'm going to call them and say, what are you doing? So that we can look at that and say, okay, we're at 12% on this. You're at 6%. What's the difference? What are we doing differently? And can we have a conversation about that? And people are really open to those kind of conversations.
Excellent. That's great. I'm glad you're doing that.
The year that I first ran for office, so now, we're talking like 8, 9 years ago now, there was a time where the foster care costs had gone from, or the out-of-home placement costs had gone from, I think, $250,000 to $3 million. And that year, I remember that the HHS focus was really on how to get family members or kin, to come
Yep.
to become foster parents. and then how to support people once they had become foster parents. And so I think if there are things that, as an example, but if there are things that we can do and that committee can help with, that would be terrific.
Excellent. Well, we'll be thoughtful around that as we move forward and be looking at this report and looking at our synopsis in order to make recommendations about things that can have impact, like kin care is an important piece.
And Maureen, when we return to this later on, can you, in some way add what you just said to the discussion? Because sometimes you do need to spend a little bit of money to save a lot of money.
Yeah,
You have to be
at least
careful, of
yeah.
course, that it actually comes to fruition, but
Yes.
that's a great example, because yeah, sometimes you have to spend a little bit of money to save a lot more money.
Invest in the right places.
Yep.
Okay, we
All
have
right.
2 more minutes.
Okay.
And I would, I'm sorry,
No.
I would always look, you know, to the neighborhood, how Fillmore and Houston. And I've always said, if we've got somebody that's really good at their job,
Yes.
can we share the person across, you know, the borders? And, you know, instead of, because I know you've said in the past, it takes so long to get somebody trained and up to speed on something. But if they have some capacity in maybe our small, I don't know if they do, it's a pipe dream.
Well, we do regional meetings. And so during those discussions, anybody can put something on the agenda. And I have put different items to kind of say, oh, what do you all do for this? Can you share that with me? And so I think that is happening pretty well now. I think everybody's got this resource problem of being able to share across different counties and some of those things. We're just not there yet. But I think that's a good way to look at things.
Yeah.
Because when
But
you
know
become
what
an
I'm saying?
expert,
If somebody's good at something,
Yes.
why take a couple years to train somebody?
having specialty areas of specific things, absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions? Otherwise, anything else from you, Maureen? Otherwise, I'll close there.
You are good.
Thank you very much for the discussion. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's now 5:45, so
Commissioners.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
so I'm going to adjourn the working session and we'll start the committee of the board. It has one agenda item, discuss potential moratorium of development on scenic byways.
Well, and we don't discuss, we decide if we're going to discuss,
That's
right?
You got 2, now you see if you can get 3 people
Yeah,
to
yeah.
agree.
And, you know, this came to light at the last conditional use permit on Apple Blossom Drive. And the question is, with that being a state scenic byway, should it have maybe different setbacks than, you know, another, you know, very rural setting? And it caught my attention when the person who did the conditional use permit alluded that they were going to be doing more development. Now, it wasn't indicated, is that more solar panels, wind farms, you know, agricultural feedlots, houses, you know, it was just alluded that there would be more things to come. So I think we have some sensitive areas within the county that maybe we should just look at possibly changing some of our setbacks and our conditions and protect those quote scenic areas. And I know the state of Minnesota is going to review all the scenic byways in the state of Minnesota. There's a gentleman at the state, I have his name somewhere, and they were going to be doing something this summer, starting to do something, because the plans they did were back in, I think, the 1999 or something, they had a plan. So that's just the concept, is we look, decide if we want to change some things before we get another application on our doorstep. And the other thing, also, not just even the scenic byways, but the bigger discussion too, is a lot of my colleagues across the state of Minnesota are dealing with data centers. And we haven't even given any thought. And again, if you get an application on the table, then it's too late to start setting the rules. You need to set the rules ahead of time. So. And I think
I support a discussion about this idea and see where it goes, to discuss the possibility of additional protections for the scenic byways. And I don't know if that was a request to talk about data centers, because if that was, I'll gladly second that one.
yeah,
too.
it falls
And
into,
that should be that might be a separate issue.
yeah.
So is that a request for a
Yeah,
future?
that would be a request for future too.
Ms. Holty, for a future committee of the board to just. But that's separate from, listen,
Because I think they're as close as I've been, well, Pine Island is being
Yep.
approached. And I think even the little community of Harmony, Minnesota said they were being approached by a smaller one. So
Mm.
So-
they're in the neighborhood.
Would your thinking be the way that I've seen it done back when I was on the planning commission, but then since then, is really that we would send an issue to the planning commission and
Mhm.
staff has a chance to,
Work through.
you know, think about it and analyze it and find out what other communities are doing and then potentially make a recommendation. The planning commission says yes or no, and is that is that the process you'd be interested in?
That will work. I guess the fear I have is if some application comes in between, now and then, and I'm not sure if staff has any indication if there's anything on the horizon. I'm looking at Ross. Has anybody approached? Of course, they don't have to approach you too much ahead of time before they make a application, but nothing that you're aware of? Okay,
I would assume and hope it would go through like the normal staff and then planning
Yeah.
commission discussion
yeah,
and then come back.
it needs to, yeah. It needs to follow the process we've always used. Yes.
Okay, then I support that.
So for clarification, is the board asking me to have this be taken back to planning and environmental services before we bring it back to the board for discussion?
Not necessarily.
So put it through the normal process to bring it back at the next meeting.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I'm
Yeah. and
understanding.
Commissioner Elston,
And then we'll
Yes.
make a decision to ask staff.
Yes,
spend
yeah.
time on it.
yeah, well, it will come back to actual board meeting
Yes.
where decision,
I
vote
think
can.
some of that is-
You have a cup?
Coffee. I've got a cup.
And then at a future committee of the board, we'll have discussion to officially discussing data centers.
Okay. All right, that's it for
All right.
the committee of the board, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn. We have 11 minutes before the county board meeting starts.
Okay.
Coming? If you came hungry, there's a box of cookies over there. Help yourself. We start our meetings with a public comment period. And so if there are folks in the audience or people who are online that would like to talk to us about something, I invite you to come up to the microphone, tell us your name and address, or if you want, just your township. And try to limit your comments to 2 minutes and tell us what you wanted to share.
My name is Fred Moline. Live at 29444 County Road 19. It's a Rushford mailing address. I am here about the reconstruction of County Road 19. The part that we are concerned about is the gravel hill road, which is gravel right now, and they are wanting to straighten it all out and blacktop it. At a cost of, they say 1.8, it's going to be a lot more than that, but we won't go into that. I do have petitions here I gave to Maureen that I want all the board members to look at. These are the people that live on County Road 19, that use County Road 19. Some of them every day, some of them twice a day, sometimes only a few times, very seldom. But they all want the top part done. They do not want the gravel made into blacktop. The top part is from Wilson to the Gravel Hill Road is blacktop now. It's practically undrivable. That's how bad it is. And why aren't we taking care of our current blacktop roads? Why are we trying to extend them into other roads, blacktop in, and then 15, 20 years down the thing, they'll be looking for money to try to fix that there when they don't have the money to fix the current roads. There's a whole list of roads in Winona County that needs this money first, not later. We've been asking for years to have that road fixed on top there. For years, we've been trying. It's just terrible. You can't hardly drive it. People have lost shocks, they've lost other parts, the broken parts on this, driving this road. I thought I had petitions in here from the last time we were here with the other owners of the land. There's some of us that are not going to sell, okay, because they have to take some of our land to make this reconstruction. We are not going to sell. We will go to eminent domain if we have to, which they're talking, which is going to get kind of messy. We cannot figure out why they want to fix a road that goes to nowhere, let's say, like the old saying of the bridge to nowhere, when they don't have the money to fix the other roads that need it right now and have needed it for years. There's other people in other parts of the county with these roads that need them fixed now. The Hill Road I've lived there just about, I was born and raised there just about all my life. And a lot of these other people have asked me to come to talk to you about it. Some of them don't like to talk publicly. There's no safety problem with this road in over 50, 60 years. There's been very, very minor injuries and very few accidents on this road. Matter of fact, I talked to the Winona department, what's her name? I don't remember her name now, but she has said she don't remember ever sending an ambulance out that direction. Not for an accident. You know, I know other people have had medical problems and they've sent out for them. We need this stopped before it gets to eminent domain. I know you people don't have anything to do with eminent domain. I realize I found that out. We were finding out a lot of things. Marcia is helping us on this. She is our representative on this board. And we want it stopped. We love this road. We can make it up in the winter. It's gravel. I get to the top part of this hill road, is blacktop, a few hundred feet. I get up there with my two-wheel drive vehicle. I have been stopped so many times, it's too slippery. You can't get up the hill. I have had to go way over on the wrong side of the road with my car to find some gravel with the left wheels and try to get some traction to go up. Sometimes I get a little ways, stop, go back, do it again, back and forth. And this has happened over all the years. Our weather is changing. We're having more ice now than snow. And that's the problem. You put that much ice on the blacktop, can I drive on it? You put that much ice on gravel, you can go right up it.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan. I don't want to cut you off because I
Okay.
appreciate you coming.
I
here.
realize it's, we will be getting back to you with other things and we have more petitions coming. There was three other people besides myself getting these petitions. It's not just myself doing this, so
Thank you so much. for
Thank you.
coming.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience? Or if you are online? Yep, please come on up.
My name is Zach Harder. I'm with Harder's Quick Cleanup. I'm the general manager as well for Green Circle Recycling. Green Circle Recycling currently takes all of the recyclable materials from Winona County. I went to school at Winona State for a little bit before I realized my heart was in the family business. So I have a special appreciation for this area and this city. First and foremost, I know there's a RFP on the proposal for RFP on the consent agenda, and just number one, wanted to come up and say thank you. Harder's and Green Circle have been servicing this area since 2017. There's one driver, Matt Troutline. He does the city route. He's been with us for 18 years, so he's serviced Winona the entirety of the contract. And then also Greg Prue, he does a lot of the township routes. And so we have very good retention on all of our drivers. Green Circle, we accept a wide range of acceptable materials. wider than most MRFs in the state. We maintain a very low residual rate, very high recovery rate. I was just reading over the RFP, there's a ask for innovative solutions. We're always pursuing innovation. Just right now, actually, we're upgrading an older optical sorter and putting a new optical sorter back in for extra capacity. So just don't want to take too much of your time, but thank you for your consideration. We really appreciate all the opportunity that and the partnership that we've had with Winona County and hope to continue that in the future. So thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here in the audience or anyone online? I'll ask 2 more times. Is there anyone here in the audience or online that would like to share thoughts with us during the public comment period? Yes?
Madam Chair, just to note that people online cannot speak. We're still having technical difficulty.
Okay. All right. So sorry about that. Folks who are online, we have not quite recovered to the point where you would be able to participate in public comment. So for the final time, is there anyone here in the audience that would like to share some thoughts with us? Please come to the podium. Hearing no one, I'm going to move on. Next item is potentially to approve some past minutes from county board meetings.
I'll move to approve items 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3. Second.
Okay. Commissioner Vagley has moved. Commissioner Olson has seconded approval of minutes from April 14th, the closed session on April 14th of 2026, the closed session on April 23rd of 2026. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, say nay. Motion carries. In terms of any adjustments to the agenda, County Attorney Sonneman?
Or you also want to?
Yes, do you have anything you would like to change on the agenda?
Other than to ask for an opportunity to give a comment at the end.
Comment? Commissioner Bailey?
Nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Olson?
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Ward?
I would like, I see Brian's in the attending, just maybe a quick synopsis on 7.8 from his perspective of our feedlot situation.
Do you want to pull it?
Yeah, let's pull it to
8.0?
yes, please.
Say 8.01. How's that?
Yeah, yes. And then announcement at the end, please.
Okay. Administrator Holty?
No, Madam Chair, nothing.
Okay, so I have nothing, but we do have a slight modification. It would be in order to approve the agenda at this point.
So move the amended agenda.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Ward moves, Commissioner Elsing seconds, approval of the agenda.
Vaguely.
I'm sorry. Commissioner Elsing isn't even here. Okay, Commissioner Vaguely seconds approval of the modified agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, nay. Motion carries. Administrator Holty, could you read the consent business for the record?
Absolutely. 7.1, approved contract with Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center to support RAP Plus clients. 7.2, approve LG 220 gambling application for exempt permit Pickwick Mill Incorporated. 7.3, approve transitioning out of over 65 Blues contract. 7.4, award bid for CASA's 4, 5, 12, 37, and 39, resurfacing to Dunn Blacktop Company. 7.5, approve cooperative agreement with City of Utica for CASA 33 project. 7.6, approve updated working hours policies 5.10. 7.7, approve extension of lease agreement with Port Authority of Winona for 165 West Second Street parking lot. 7.8 was pulled. 7.9, approve recycling program request for proposals. And 7.10, confirm payment of disbursements.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the remaining consent items. And a quick comment about 7.4. There's $3 million in road repairs. $3 million. There goes $3 million in for just 4 projects.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, back to the original motion. I'll move to approve the,
Oil-based products aren't
Yeah.
going to get any cheaper.
no, I think it worse.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hey, Commissioner Vaguely has moved. Commissioner Olson seconds approval of the consent business as it was read into the record. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, nay. Motion carries. We now move on to general business. First item would be what used to be 7.8, now is 8.01. Approve the 2025 year-end feedlot program review and the 2025 annual and financial report.
Yeah, Mr. Feedlot Officer.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
If you could just introduce
Oh,
yourself for
yes.
the record, thank you.
I'm Brian Berthium. I'm the Winona County Feedlot Officer.
And I just, you've been here, what, a little over a year and such?
Yep.
So from your perspective, how are our feedlots doing and how is the interaction with your work and the state of Minnesota and the regulations and everything?
Yeah, overall, I think first year on the job went really well. We maintained our funded sites this year for the most part. This last biennium, we were funded for 460 registered feedlots. As of the first of the year, we had 451, and of the 9 that decreased, a good number of those were just late registrations. They're required to update that registration every 4 years. So in that regard, it's going pretty well. We met all the minimum program requirements for the delegation agreement this last year. And as far as interactions with PCA, it's going pretty well. I consult with our district representative, Peter Queasley, when need be. I've been in touch with both the Houston and Fillmore County feedlot officers. And we're setting up plans to do some inter-county work, potentially, not inspections in itself, but some outreach work. Beyond that, there's the feedlot rule update that's going to be going on for the next few years. And so I've been doing my best to make sure that people are informed about what's going on there. I've sent out, I think, 3 newsletters now just with updates regarding where they're at with the rulemaking process. As of now, there's not going to be a lot of opportunity for public comment on the feedlot rule review for the next year or so. But I will be sending out mailings periodically so people are aware of what's going on.
I did have one specific question here on page 155, and it relates to the manure application records, part of inspection file, additional performance credits. We didn't get any credits, but I guess I'm a little, and I know we handed off a lot of the manure application record and plans over to soil and water conservation. So why did we get no, it said awarded the county for performance if all applicable inspection files contain a copy of the manure application records for sites. So what, why didn't we have that in the files, or what happened there?
There was a bit of a misunderstanding as to what was necessary. I was unaware that I was supposed to attach those records into one of the sites that I reviewed. I did a desktop review, but I did not upload it into the state system. So that was one of the things that I did get knocked on for my annual review this year.
Did we lose any funding because of that?
No, we did not receive the 4 additional performance credits for that one addition. Those would be 4 additional performance or credits should that have been the case.
So it didn't affect our financial, because we get a lot of money for doing feedlots.
The way that it would work out is those performance credits are assigned a dollar value at the end of the biennium, or at the end of the year, excuse me. And then it's assigned a value based on the number of performance credits received around the state and the amount of money remaining in the feedlot program budget. So we missed out, I suppose, on the value of 4 performance credits for the year. And we are not sure yet the dollar value of those performance credits. Usually that's in the $200 range.
But that's something, so the plan that Soil and Water Conservation District Office is doing these manure management plans, that's a workable situation?
For now, so that was a temporary agreement. Those funds have to be spent by the end of this year. We essentially encumbered those funds to allow Amanda over there to do some of that manure management planning work. Thus far, it's going pretty well. I know Amanda's done a good number of work on quite a few plans. I don't have specific numbers in that regard, but thus far, I think it has garnered quite a bit of interest amongst folks, especially since they're transitioning to the new manure management planning tool right now.
Isn't it mandatory?
It is. That they're still allowing use of the old Excel spreadsheet tool for at least the next year, but they're strongly pushing to get people moved over to the new tool.
All right, so we still do have 460 registered feedlots.
Just about.
51.
We may have a few less than 460.
And how many animal units do you have to register?
Our county ordinance requires registration at 10 animal units. Those sites are not funded until they're at 50 animal units. So sites that are 50 plus are funded, or sites that are 10 animal units in the Shoreland district need to register too.
My neighbor, my VOBR goats for the summer won't fall into that. All right, thank you. I appreciate the information.
No problem.
And looks like we're doing a good report. So thank you very much.
Mr. Olson?
Thank you.
Motion to approve the year-end feedlot program review and annual financial report.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Olson has moved. Mr. Ward seconds approval of the feedlot program review. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item is to receive a presentation from the Primary Prevention Project, which works to stop sexual and domestic violence. We've all met Ellen before.
Yep. So hello, everybody. I'm here to say thank you for funding of the $3,000 for the Winona County Primary Prevention Project. And I just want to share with you how we use that funding in the Winona community.
Do you want the slideshow?
If you would like, I thought it would help to, if not, I'm quite happy to talk as well.
If it's possible for the audience and those who are watching, it'd be helpful, right? Because we have it on our.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, but yeah.
Yeah,
If that's possible. I apologize, Helen.
No, that's fine. So my name, if you don't know me, is Helen Bagshaw, and I'm the chair of the Winona County Primary Prevention Project, and we call it PPP for short. We started in 2008, and we became a 501c3 nonprofit in 2019. And our mission is to provide education to change cultural norms to prevent violence before it happens by surrounding our community with information through community collaboration, organizational practice, and policies that change traditional norms to ensure our Winona County is safe for everyone. Little bit of history. We began in 2008, and through the efforts of many citizens from Health and Human Services, from education, judicial services, professionals, agencies, and the best thing, community volunteers, all came together to prevent or to try and prevent sexual and domestic violence. We have 22 coalition partners from volunteer organizations like Beyond Tough Guys to Winona Health to the public schools. In fact, anybody and everybody are welcome. So every year we put up an action plan based on 3 main actions: provide primary prevention education in our community, educate our policy and legislative makers, and strengthen our coalition to our members and to our partnerships. So our first part of our action plan is to collaborate and engage with all our coalition members. One of those things is providing darkness to light training with classes online and in person. A new thing that we're starting, that we're working with the Parks and Rec department, is happy to chat benches. We know, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the next few minutes. Also, we're working with the police department. I'm a responsible beverage server trainer, but it also gives me the opportunity to talk to bar staff and hotel staff about resources for domestic violence, human trafficking. You know, often bar staff, you know, they want those resources if people ask. So the other thing is we are very passionate about community conversations, supporting and navigating response and prevention of gender-based violence. One of our things that I've really embraced is social media. So we share that events and awareness on our Facebook page. And I had to look at the data. I'm kind of new with all this, but I looked to see how many visits or views we'd had from February 1st to April 14th, 1,400. I mean, I don't know if that's good or great, but I'm excited that people want to know and are, you know, trying to find out what's going on in our community. We also do radio, newsprint, handouts, stickers, and billboards. So we're trying to encompass every way we can to share that education. Again, our second part of our mission is to influence policy and legislative makers, and that's why I'm so excited that I'm here today to talk to you. Also talking to the City Council as well. Our local and state legislators, again, I did actually meet with Rapinski on another matter at the Capitol a couple of weeks ago, and I did tell him I was a part of the Primary Prevention Project. So hopefully, you know, he'll have heard of that before. We meet on the fourth Monday of the month. We meet 10 times a year. We're also part of the Winona Area Nonprofit Association, and we're also part of Minnesota Coalition Against Sexual Assault. Last couple of minutes, I just want to give you some highlights of what we've been doing. One of our community conversations that I talked about earlier was Together We Act, United We Change. That was last year. We did a human traffic event with Winona State, a human traffic survivor from Olmsted County, and the Advocacy Centre. We had over 100 people there from Winona State and community members. There was a panel. It was a great chance to talk about real life, you know, survivor stories and information. Again, looking at the PowerPoint, we are tabling with Engage Winona. Happy to chat benches. So we know that loneliness is a major public health issue affecting half of Minnesotans. And so we're trying to get a bench, working with the Park and Rec department to put a sign on a bench so that people can chat just about the weather or hi or hello, but also it has a QR code with different services that are available in Winona County, like the food shelf. There's a few issues about putting, you know, plaques on benches, but, you know, I'm hopeful that it's going to happen. So I'm excited about that.
Just one bench, or are you going to have multiple benches?
I'd like to have one around the lake, one at the levee, one at a couple of organisations have said they'll have one at their place like Hiawatha.
Okay.
Just for people. I saw it in the UK and it's a really popular, and I thought, wouldn't it be great for Winona County? And it's something that we could, not just for people to chat, but to have a chance, who hasn't got a phone, and point the QR code and get some resources at the same time. Other things that we're doing, of course, the Clothesline Project, which is in October, and we sponsor the shirts and help to put up that Clothesline Project. Every shirt represents a person who has been a victim that has died from domestic violence in Minnesota. It's very powerful. We do a radio ad and a newspaper article for that. Tabling, block parties, take back the night. This month, April, is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Denim Day tomorrow, so if you wear denim, you're again raising awareness, and you can look on our Facebook page to see why that's important. Had Take Back the Night, which we also helped to sponsor with the Advocacy Centre, and 140 people went to that last week. Our greatest thing that we really enjoy is April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and that's when we organise the art contest. We had 250 entries this year from 3rd and 4th graders, and our title is A Safe Family. And if you're feeling a bit right now, or you need cheering up, or you want your spirits lifted, really encourage you to go to Winona Bank, where their lobby is full of 250 pictures, which will melt your heart, make you smile. We had a great presentation with the mayor. The teachers came, parents came, grandparents came. We had cookies. We read the proclamation. If we don't do anything else all year, that is just the best thing ever. And we are going to have the billboard in June again with the 9 winners. And if you're a 3rd or 4th grader and you see your picture up there on the billboard, you will remember it for always. But we're also helping to raise awareness. And we couldn't do that without the money, without the funding.
Helen, is it just one picture that's?
9. We have 9 winners.
So they all get on a.
Yeah.
Do we have these electronic billboards that they go
Yeah.
on? So they wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been doing that for the last 4 years. And
Where's the location so people can look?
yeah, there'll be publicity about it. It's the one near Target, opposite Winona Health.
Right, yep,
So
yeah.
you can grab a coffee from Mugby, you can sit in Winona Health parking lot, and you can watch them all go round and round.
Or just keep going around in the
Yeah.
roundabout.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't use that as an excuse
Yeah.
if you crash.
yeah.
We're still in the middle of it.
Stop, just keep moving.
And, it's not just the drawings, but, the teachers, I want to thank them because, they talk to the kids about why this is important and why, we're doing this. I'm sorry I probably took more time than I should. The last thing, again, I just want to say thank you. I did want to talk about our Darkness to Light again, because this is a prevention training. We had Vanessa Southworth from Live Well, who was a trainer for Darkness to Light for quite a few years. Now we have a new trainer, Destiny, from the Advocacy Centre, and she's restarting this programme. And we give 40 free trainings with the money that you help us with. And she also goes out to child organisations like Family and Children's. But we offer the free training in the community school, the catalogue, that one.
Community ed.
Yes, community ed, thank you. And we have other community people coming in to do that training. So I hope I've given you a little flavour anyway of Primary Prevention Project. Have a look on our Facebook, and there's pictures and more information as well. Thanks for the opportunity to come and share. And again, thank you for the funding. It really is appreciated.
Thank you.
You make a lot out of a very small amount.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Okay, item 8.2, approve purchase of Exagrid solution to maintain data backups.
I'll move to approve item 8.2.
I'll second it.
Tell me what it's gonna do for me. Why should I spend $60,000 more on? It's really gonna do what it needs to do.
Yes, and it actually did its job in the first 2 events. So Exagrid is our solution for backup. So it backs up our entire network environment. We got a little lucky on the second one because we had to compress data to get everything in the solution. So this is needed to expand to cover our entire environment. Right now, we're segmenting our environment into a larger, more secure environment, and we need this solution to back everything up. So I don't know if you received the justification that I sent to Maureen, but it kind of, it explains it really well in there. And I don't want to go into technical details on this solution here at this meeting, but.
Commissioner Olson first.
Yes,
and then
sir.
Could you
Commissioner
introduce yourself because it's been a long time since we've seen you?
Well, I don't know if that's a
Bring it
good or
back.
bad thing. I'm Chad Lang, the IT director, Winona County. Usually behind the scenes, but yes. No, that's a good solution. So it's also a local solutions through HBS is the local support. We did, when we looked into the solution about a year and a half ago, when we implemented it, we looked into other solutions. I know Vanguard was mentioned, Rubrik is another one, very expensive, almost three times the cost. So in terms of backup solutions, is a very financially logical decision, I think.
Commissioner Bagley had a question?
Thank you. Is this enough?
Yes,
I don't want to get cheap on this.
it's enough
I
with
think-
room to spare.
Okay.
Yeah,
And this will stop Anthropic's mythos too, right?
yes. Well, they tried to lock that away and it still found a way out, so.
Right.
But it is a
Go ahead.
3-year contract and a lot will happen in the next 3 months,
Right.
let
So
alone 3 years.
We did cushion ourselves for the next foreseeable future. So
Okay, and you feel this company will keep up with all the,
company's very good. Yes, they did a great job with our previous incident and they were very responsive. We were able to back up the data and transfer it very easily. So it's a good solution.
okay. Somewhat related, but not related. Are you in contact and working with I think they want to call themselves Min Kitla group out of Association of Minnesota Counties?
Yes, we are. So right now we're working with Minute in all of the different counties. We've been in discussions with John Salius, I believe his name is, from Minute, to try to brainstorm and.
And
get
Minute
through-
is a state
It's
organization?
Minnesota State IT
Yeah.
group,
That what you said.
basically.
Or are you thinking something different?
Well, that's part of it. And then AMC.
You're thinking of the conglomerate, the
Yeah.
computer, yeah.
Yeah, the computer conglomerate of our IT, our county IT people.
Yeah, we have it on a roadmap right now. We're just surviving. But yes, we definitely have the conversation started.
My ultimate goal is that we learn from them and others can learn from us. I mean, we
Absolutely.
need to work together on these types of situations and things.
Commissioner Olson
don't
first. and then
disagree.
you, Commissioner Bagley.
So is this a managed system?
So it's a cloud-based system and we manage the daily backups and the times that they're backed up. It goes through it's called a Veeam solution. It takes our backups, pushes it out to Exagrid, which is a air-gapped system. So basically that means it takes all of our network information and puts it out into a non-network facing environment. So it's impenetrable to hackers, basically.
The backup portion of it.
Correct.
Commissioner Bagley?
Were you finished, Commissioner Olson?
Yeah.
Yes.
So was it April 7th?
Yes.
So I just want to thank you and Sam Michael and all the IT staff. I want to thank Governor Walz again for sending what's the correct name,
Cybersecurity forensics unit.
Thank you. And thank you again I know you've worked very long hours in the last 3 weeks. Thank you.
Still in, but yep, we're
Still
getting
in.
through it. We're getting through
Yep.
it. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Commissioner Ward?
It's a little maybe stretch, but I have been asked by a number of constituents with this recent attack, realizing when you put anything out there on the internet or the web or anything, it's vulnerable. They have great concerns about the upcoming election using poll pads.
Poll pads are always non-network facing, locked in a secure location. Chelsea, I believe, has the only key, not on our network. So very secure.
So they wouldn't be on our network. So that
correct.
wouldn't make us vulnerable
That's
with
correct.
them.
Yep.
Okay. But anytime you have an iPad or an iPhone or anything, it seems like
Yep.
somebody can get to it.
Yeah, we're locked down.
Okay, okay.
On
all
that
right.
part
I
of
don't
it.
know if that answers their concerns, but thank
Yep.
you.
I can draft something for you if you have any more questions.
Well, it's with the elections, the concept of elections. Nobody stole our 3-ring binder in New
No,
Hartford Township.
they'll have the file
my
cabinets
knowledge.
too.
Any further discussion?
All right, yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay,
And
hearing none.
Don't stop working.
I'm going right back to my office, so thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Chad.
Although, all those in favor of approving the purchase of Exagrid solution to maintain data backups, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries. 8.3, approve recommendation to hire and resolution to appoint Lindsay Brandt as county assessor.
Good evening, Todd Sadler, HR Director. It's my pleasure to recommend the hiring of Lindsay Brandt as the county assessor. She's been with the county since March of 2015 as an appraiser too. She's AMA certified, licensed, and then finishing her SAMA. She has her boards remaining. I think that's in July. So recommendations to hire Lindsay and.
I'll move to approve that we hire Lindsay Brandt as the new county assessor.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Begley moves, Commissioner Olson seconds approval, Commissioner Ward?
I think Lindsay's in the audience. Yes, please.
I just wanted to say thank you. The interviewing was great. It was a great panel, great questions. I'm excited to have the opportunity to lead this team right now. It's a very difficult time in our department as it is for the county. We've all just talked with Chad. But I think the team itself is working really well to get through all of these difficulties, and helping lead them through it is really exciting. So I just wanted to say thank you, and look forward to working with the county here.
Thank you.
Mr. Olson?
Got a question for you. So what software do you use?
Right now, we use the Tyler system, and that's an cloud-based program.
Is that I talked to the Houston County folks. They don't use that. Is that a good software in your opinion?
So we are new to the software. It's been a couple years. It has some hiccups. We're still trying to figure out the best way to work through those, and if it is the best option.
How long is our contract with them? Do you know?
2027.
2027.
Commissioner Ward?
I think echoing Commissioner Olson's, yeah, I've heard, I remember going to a conference and Tyler was at, it was obviously an AMC conference, and they had a booth, and they handed out socks that said Tyler Works. I have a son that's named Tyler, so I got him a pair of socks. But as Commissioner Olson alluded to, maybe it's not the best, but we need to work.
We do have some issues that we're trying to figure out. Like this last time, we went offline because of the attack, and now we go back online, and sometimes everything isn't necessarily put back to the way it was right before, and not for our data, just in the process and the way it works. Like, oh, I want to run this report, and it might not be there. So there's a delay in getting some of that information back. And there's the customer service side is a little lacking when it comes to that. It's hard to get some support from them when we are having issues.
Okay, you bring up a very important part of the job. Assessors, you deal dimensional, and it's this many feet and that many feet, but you are a face to Winona County residents. Not always the most welcome face when you show up and you want to, people have great concerns over the valuation of our properties. I mean, and you know this, you've been in the business long enough. It's kind of on a crazy uphill scale.
It is.
People have built homes 20 years ago, and they're triple and plus what they built them for. So I encourage all your staff, the people skills are part of your job to not forget.
Mhm.
And I know there's a lot of resources. We have the county, I've talked to Todd, the employee group. Yeah, that they do some training, and they do some, customer service areas.
Mhm.
But I hope that you remember that you're working for the taxpayer of Winona County, not the state of Minnesota. Yes, we follow their system,
Right.
but always put the taxpayer, number one, and work with them, because it is tough. And I know you
It
have a very
is.
tough job, but they see you, and yeah. Yeah.
Over the last couple of years here, because we have had some drastic inclines in values, the team has been very proactive when they are quintiling for the year and letting people know, this is what we're seeing, expect this. Because when people are forewarned, right, and have a better idea of what's happening, it's not such a shock. Do they like that number? No, they still don't like that number, but it's not like we're trying to hide something, because we're not. We do want the public to know what's going on. It's just better for the county as a whole. It adds a lot more trust in us. So yeah, we've kind of talked about that in our group meetings we have, is how to present some not great information to the public. And it's always better, even when we get, that good information we do get to present, it's just a little more exciting.
Sure.
So as a team, we've kind of been talking about that, making sure the county knows.
It's not easy. I totally understand it, but there are tools and resources. So I would encourage to work with Todd and yeah, get your staff
Thank you.
and stuff. Yeah, thank you.
We had a question that came up during our solar panel discussion,
Okay.
the previous meeting, and about added value to properties.
Okay.
And for tax purposes. So, and there was some discussion on whether they were included in a valuation of a property or not.
So it really depends on the size
And is it
of the
commercial
solar
or
panel.
ag?
Right. So if you have something over 1 meg, that will go, the land that it sits on goes to commercial. The input that it gets, that's a state tax, and that's separate. If it's a small personal array, those are minimal and don't really add any values that way.
So the threshold's 1 megawatt?
Yes.
Mr. Bigley?
And I know that you're already familiar with the department and the county, but in this new role, I'm speaking as one commissioner, it would require a majority, but if you find out that you need new software programs, new resources, please don't hesitate to ask us, because we want to help you succeed. And thank you, because you have a very difficult job, and you don't control the current real estate, residential, commercial markets. And when I look at Bob Emenick's reports, in terms of the assessed value and the sale value, we're not over assessing, even though it's painful for people to see those assessments go up.
Mhm.
You're almost a poster child for the message, don't shoot, the cliche, don't shoot the messenger.
Right.
So
Yeah.
thank you for what you do, but it's not an easy job.
No, thank you.
I do just want to echo what Commissioner Begley said. I think it's true for all of us that we want you to succeed. And we
Well, thank
wish you all the best in the new role.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Begley has moved. Commissioner Olson has seconded approval of this recommendation to hire and the resolution to appoint Lindsay Brandt as the county assessor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And if anyone's opposed, nay. Motion carries. Our last item under general business is to receive a report about the opioid expenditures. And this is the report in very tiny print.
Yeah.
That's the one. So this is an update. I believe the commissioners had requested just an accounting of the opioid funds and where we were at. So this spreadsheet goes through it. I think on a positive, the first row, medication-assisted treatment is continuing and will continue moving forward, and it is sustainable long-term through other forms of reimbursement. The hub navigator, that position, we still are have funding available for that position that we've committed to, and they had some turnover, so that's why it's lasted a bit longer. The community education, we have funded that for the prevention piece. And then the Recovery Core project, we're going to be looking at another person for the opioid, and that has been, I think, well worth it in terms of the research that she has engaged in, and hopefully we'll get another high-quality Recovery Core person. And then the RAP and reentry support, we've committed $60,000 for 2026.
Some of the things that I was interested in at the time were to understand, in terms of the hub, can we get a counting of how many individuals that
Sure.
they have helped, and just in the categories of help? And then I was curious to know about the attendance, if we have any information about that on those community education sessions.
Yep.
Carol,
Ackley,
thank you. Yes.
Okay, not a problem. I'll take care of that.
What percentage of this?
Commissioner Mark.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I was staring at something.
Commissioner Ward, go ahead. You
Just-
started.
So, remind me again, we have how many dollars total coming in?
Oh, gosh. It's, I don't know off the top of my head.
And you can
Yeah.
reiterate. So I would like to know, like a balance sheet, like we had X number of dollars and it's continuing coming and
Okay.
Attorney Sonoman's going to give us more money before she leaves office.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, she actually is.
Yes. And so we kind of have a balance sheet.
Okay.
Ms. Chafee?
We used to say about 180,000 a year would be the budget to make it
Yeah.
last, I don't know, 13
18.
years, 18 years.
It'll be 18.
But then we-
13, because not all of
We
it
got some
Right,
equates
we
to
got-
18
right.
years.
We
Yeah,
got a
we got
bunch up
some
front.
larger amount or like,
Quite a bit up
just a
front.
balance sheet to go along with this. This is good and it's good information, but
Yes.
just kind of a balance sheet of
Not a problem.
what we got, where we're at.
Not a
Left.
problem.
Okay.
What's coming in, what's going out?
Yes, yes, please.
Mr. Baker.
Two things. I want to follow up on what Commissioner Meyer said about the hub. In addition to the numbers, maybe an update on where things are at. There's been a lot of turnover,
Yeah.
both the number of people working there and not just the people who are, not just staff, but the size of the program. And I'm speaking for myself only, and I'm not asking for anything specific right now, but speaking for myself only, I would love to find a way to partner with Ripple. They are, if you look at the biggest bang for the buck and return on investment, those are very motivated individuals, working very hard in the community education category. So that's just if at all possible, I would like to find a way, speaking for myself only, and this is maybe a discussion for later, to partner with Ripple in terms of the prevention and education part of this overall program. Thank you.
Yes.
So in our current committee setup, to evaluate proposals, is that still the same partners in that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're seeing more activity. I think our slow spot was a result of the vacancy in the director position for a long period of time. I think we've got some real momentum happening. We did need to cancel a meeting this month as a result of our cybersecurity situation, but we have that rescheduled already. And there's a couple things specifically that we're looking at, and we've had other good engagement from the community coming forth and saying, hey, we're interested in something like this. And so I think that's all positives.
Good. Thank you for being open to that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that is the last item of general business. So, Attorney Sonoman, County Attorney Sonoman, you had a comment.
Yeah, it's actually an announcement that the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council is bringing back Law Day. We started that in 2011 and COVID shut us down and we hadn't brought it back until this year. And so Thursday and Friday this week, in the afternoon on Thursday and 2 sessions on Friday in the morning and the afternoon, we'll have the area 6th graders coming through to learn about the criminal justice process. And I want to thank Commissioner Meyer. She's one of our volunteers. And I don't know if Helen is still here. No, she left.
Nope.
Helen Bagshaw is also one of our volunteer tour leaders. So it should be a great, we're excited about bringing it back. And it's great education, a good lesson in civics for our kids. So
Thank you for doing that.
Awesome.
And Commissioner Ward, you had an
Yeah,
announcement?
last night, the Winona County Fair Board met and they're getting geared up for another great fair. But one of the requests, and it was from Bob Bamanek, is Century Farms. If anybody out in our community has a Century Farm, please, have Bob help you do some research, figure out if you are, eligible and everything, because it is a statewide honor to have Century Farms. So anybody interested, contact any of the commissioners or Bob Bamanek, and that's a recognition that happens at the county fair in July. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone want to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, Commissioner Olson has moved, Commissioner Bagley has seconded adjournment. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. Is the petition.
Thank you.
Dwayne, you had asked earlier